this is Georgia, and welcome back to Safe Tea. Today, we are back on the street to ask you about your feelings about the upcoming election. So let's get started. Do you plan to vote?
Yes, I do. I think it's important to have my voice kind of heard by who I decide to vote on.
I do not.
Why not?
Because I can't vote since I don't have citizenship or legal residency yet.
Yes, I feel like this is a very important election, especially me being a woman in this country. I think it's really time for me to step out and make a choice and make some change in this country.
Oh, well, maybe.
Why?
I just don't really like to know anything about politics. I mean, like, everyone is, like, evil in politics, and everybody just fights about it. I'm like, I don't really want to dive into that and then fight about the whole thing.
I do. I heard that it's always part of a citizen's job to vote, and I'm an American citizen, so I think I'm obligated to vote. And also, everyone talks about it, so if you want to make a difference, you gotta vote, and if you don't vote, then you don't really have any room to complain.
I wasn't going to.
Do you plan to vote?
I do. I just registered last week.
Why?
To have my voice heard.
I do plan to vote. Because I feel like it's my duty as a civilian to vote, and I just have I feel like I want my own like strong voice for who I want to run the country.
Honestly, I'm not sure. I just don't feel comfortable making a decision for our country if I don't know enough, and I don't know enough right now.
I do plan to vote, yes. Why? I think it's very important for everyone to vote. It doesn't matter what your political beliefs are. It doesn't even matter if you think the candidates are good or not. It's just very important for everyone to vote.
Do you feel comfortable telling me who you would vote for?
Yeah, Biden.
I haven't actually decided yet. I'm waiting to watch all the debates first.
Probably Democratic Party.
Honestly, I would have no clue because both are
Do you feel comfortable telling me who you would vote for?
Yes, Trump.
Yeah, I actually have already voted. I sent in a mail-in ballot. I voted for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
I have no idea.
Currently, Joe Biden.
Okay. So you think you might change your mind?
No.
Honestly, I am kind of torn right now for who to vote for. I don't know if I've quite exactly made that decision. I'm looking forward to the election after this one.
Honestly, I would have no clue. I couldn't really tell you.
I'm going to vote for Trump. Personally, I think he is not really I honestly don't think he's the best person out there, but also I feel like he's going to make the difference, and so he's very blunt and outspoken, but I think that he's going to do the job he needs to do.
How do you plan to vote? By mail or in person?
I think in person right now, because I live close by, so
Mail-in ballot probably.
Are you worried about voter fraud with mail-in ballots?
No, I don't really feel like there's any security problems. Feel pretty confident about that.
How do you plan to vote? By mail or in person?
I was planning to go in person because it seemed like mail-in you needed certain conditions, and I don't think I fit any criteria.
I'm doing mail by ballot. My ballot should be here in a couple days. My mom just mailed it, I think, 2 days ago.
I'm doing it by ballot. I'm voting, or by mail, I mean.
Yes, I'm doing mail-in because I'm from Texas, so.
Are you worried about voter fraud with mail-in ballots?
I do see why people have worries about mail-in balloting. I do see that there has been instances of fraud, but I think overall the system we have in place is going to be okay.
How do you plan to vote? By mail or in person?
Mail-in ballot.
Are you worried about voter fraud with mail-in ballots?
A little bit, but I know that it's something that's been around for a while, so I'm not too worried since I know that it's a refuted thing.
How do you plan to vote? By mail or in person?
Mail-in. Absentee voting.
Are you worried about voter fraud with mail-in ballots?
Not exactly, no.
No, I think there's no issue with voter fraud. It's not even.
What are the most important issues facing this country coming into the election?
I think right now the biggest concern is how COVID's being handled. I definitely want to see it. I know it's kind of leveled off, but I want to see the curve kind of go down and have better treatment of that.
Oh goodness, there's a lot.
climate change, COVID, and the whole women's health rights are definitely, with RBG's death, is definitely a big thing right now. So those are probably some of the top ones.
Women's issues and climate issues.
Do you have discussions with friends or family about the political issues that are important to you?
Yeah. I would say probably daily with friends. We had like a big watch party with our roommates for the debate and stuff and talk about stuff all the time. So,
What are the most important issues facing this country coming into the election?
Probably Second Amendment rights.
Gun violence.
Probably the Affordable Care Act. I've learned a lot about that in school, and probably the protests, the uprisings right now. Probably the topic of police reform.
Do you have discussions with friends or family about the political issues that are important to you?
Yeah, most definitely. A lot in school, actually, but also a lot with my family.
What are the most important issues facing this country coming into the election?
I'd say definitely like the racial injustice that's been going on, what our country's kind of been founded on, and then climate change as well.
Do you have discussions with friends or family about the political issues that are important to you?
Not so much with my family, but I definitely do with my friends, yeah.
What are the most important issues facing this country coming into the election?
Mostly everything.
Do you have discussions with friends or family about the political issues that are important to you?
With my mom, kind of, when she like has to vote, and then she like talks about it somewhat, but doesn't like to, say a whole bunch about her opinion and stuff. But
what are the most important issues facing this country coming into the election?
I mean, I guess like a sense of unity, if that counts. So that's one thing I think we're kind of lacking. And then I'm biased, so with my major, I'm really concerned about climate change. So I feel like that should be addressed too.
Do you have discussions with friends or family about the political issues that are important to you?
More often than I prefer with my parents, but yeah. Yeah.
What are the most important issues facing this country coming into the election?
That's a good question. A lot of things. I can't even really pick one. I guess I'm really supportive of like the Black Lives Matter movement and stuff like that. So I think like those things are really important right now, I guess.
Do you have discussions with friends or family about the political issues that are important to you?
My family and I aren't really big in politics, so not usually, unless one of us is kind of like more passionate about it. Like I said, like the Black Lives Matter movement, like that brought up a big conversation in my family just because like we were all very passionate about it. So, but we're not very political really at all, so not usually.
What are the most important issues facing this country coming into the election?
A lot of issues have been resurfacing lately about police brutality and, maybe some reform within that regard. Also, just getting the pandemic under control, maybe mandating masks, something like that.
Right now, immigration.
Because I come from an immigrant family, so immigrant issues weigh heavily in my mind. So, and also racism, because I've gone through a couple incidents where I experienced racism in the past. So that's something that I care.
Do you have discussions with friends or family about the political issues that are important to you?
Not often, but when it does get brought up, if it's something that I care, like racism, I raise my voice, participate.
Yes, I do. All the time, like every day.
Yeah, I watched the debate with my friends the other night, and we all had pretty good discussions about what was going on. So,
what are the most important issues facing this country coming into the election?
For this election, I feel like a really big thing is equality, whether it's racial equality, gender equality, all of that, and also the whole healthcare issue I think is a very big deal, especially now dealing with COVID-19. Healthcare is just an issue that we really need to talk about a lot more.
Do you have discussions with friends or family about the political issues that are important to you?
I would say generally I try to stay away from it with family, but with friends I feel like we're pretty open and we can consider each other's values pretty well, so I like to talk about it with friends.
This has been another installment of Safe Tea on the Streets, a regular feature on Safe Tea where we ask random people their thoughts about current issues impacting the lives of you and your peers. If you have a story you'd like to share or a topic for Safe Tea on the Streets, contact us at rachelsfirstweek.org. Safe Tea is brought to you by Rachel's First Week. Executive producer, Mike Wilson from Airborne. Sound engineer, Ben Vaughter. And a very special thanks to Healthcare Initiatives for their sponsorship of this podcast. Healthcare Initiatives, Inc. is an Indianapolis-based private foundation supporting the advancement of human health and well-being. Visit us on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter at #Rachel's First Week. Don't forget the A in Rachel, spelled Rachel. We want to hear from you, so contact us at rachelsfirstweek.org. Don't forget to subscribe now so you don't miss a single episode of Safe Tea. This is Georgia signing off. See you next time.